What's going on? My name is Joe. I practice talking on the internet, and Discord just dropped their revisions to their community guidelines. This came out and it's effective tomorrow. So, right now it's March 26th. So, I figured I would make this video because this actually affects MySpace indirectly and a bunch of other spaces indirectly, especially from people who sort of watch my content from the communities they find themselves in. So we're going to actually do a few things. I've not read this in its entirety. I've heard bubblings of like some things that they may have planning on changing, so I haven't read this. So we're going to go through it in real time, and then I'm going to kind of give my thoughts on what this might mean for other communities and places that you find yourselves in. Hopefully this can be helpful. I had another video planned, but this kind of sort of bumped up to the top of the ladder because I know not very few people are going to actually comment about this in like the political space that I find myself in online. So hopefully you can, if you are a Discord mod in a particular like Twitch, political Twitch community or what have you, you can like use this as a means to like like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway, we'll get to it. This is completely unscripted, by the way. More unscripted than usual. I literally went to 7-Eleven, walked in, saw this, came back. So here we go.
Effective March 27th, 2023. Last updated February 24th, 2023. We created Discord to be a platform that brings people together over shared experiences and gives everyone a place to belong. Our community guidelines ensure everyone can express themselves and find community, but not at the expense of anyone else. These guidelines explain what isn't allowed on Discord. Everyone on Discord must follow these rules, and they apply to all parts of our platform, including your content, behaviors, servers, and apps. To learn more about the requirements for developing a bot or other app, please refer to our Discord Developer Terms of Service and our Discord Developer Policy. If you plan to monetize your content, be aware that we have additional rules that are outlined in our Discord server subscription policy and monetization terms. Our Trust and Safety Team reviews reports by users, moderators, or trusted reporters. When someone violates these guidelines, we may take a number of enforcement steps against them, including issuing warnings, removing content, suspending or removing the accounts and/or servers responsible, and potentially reporting them to law enforcement. We may consider relevant off-platform behavior when assessing for violations of specific community guidelines. If you come across a user, message, or server that appears to break these guidelines, please report it to us. Respect each other. Do not promote, coordinate, or engage in harassment. Discord is a platform where everyone can find a place to belong, and harassment prevents users from building healthy communities. We do not allow harassing behavior such as sustained bullying, ban or block evasion, doxing, or coordinating server joins for the purposes of harassing server members, such as server raiding. We also do not allow the coordination, participation, or encouragement of sexual harassment, such as sending unsolicited sexually suggestive content, unwanted sexualization, or attacks on sexual activity. Do not use hate speech or engage in other hateful conduct. This includes the use of hate symbols and claims that deny the history of mass human atrocities. We consider hate speech to be any form of expression that either attacks other people or promotes hatred or violence against them based on their protected characteristics. We consider the following to be protected characteristics: age, caste, color, disability, ethnicity, family responsibilities, gender, gender identity, housing status, national origin, race, refugee or immigration status, religious affiliation, serious illness, sex, sexual orientation, socioeconomic class and status, source of income, status as a victim of domestic violence, sexual violence, or stalking, and weight and size. Do not threaten to harm another individual or group of people. This includes direct, indirect, and suggestive threats. Do not organize, promote, or support violent extremism. This also includes glorifying violent events or the perpetrators of violent acts, as well as promoting conspiracy theories that could encourage or incite violence against others. Do not solicit, share, or make attempts to distribute content that depicts, promotes, or attempts to normalize child sexual abuse. Also, do not post content that in any way sexualizes children. This includes real as well as manipulated media, animation, such as Lilicon, and any type of digital creation. We report child sexual abuse material, CSAM, and grooming to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. If you are under the age of 18, do not engage in sexual conduct or any conduct that puts your online or physical safety at risk. This includes consensual sexual interactions between teens, as well as any encouragement or coordination of potentially risky behaviors, such as vigilantism. We want teens to be able to express themselves freely on Discord as much as possible, but given the risks associated with online dating, we will remove spaces that encourage or facilitate dating between teens. Do not solicit sexual content from or engage in any sexual conduct, grooming, with anyone under the age of 18. We report child sexual abuse material, CSAM, and grooming to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Do not make sexually explicit content available to anyone under the age of 18. You must be age 18 or older to participate in adult content on Discord. You must apply an age-restricted label to any channels that contain sexually explicit content or any other content shared solely for the purposes of sexual gratification. Do not post sexually explicit content in user avatars, custom statuses or bios, server banners, server icons, invite splashes, emoji, stickers, or any other space that cannot be age-restricted. Do not share sexually explicit or sexually suggestive content of other people without the subject's knowledge and consent, otherwise known as revenge porn. This includes the non-consensual distribution of intimate media that was created either with or without an individual's consent. Do not share content that glorifies, promotes, or normalizes suicide or other acts of physical self-harm. This includes content that encourages others to cut, burn, or starve themselves, as well as content that normalizes eating disorders, such as anorexia and bulimia. Self-harm acts or threats used as a form of emotional manipulation or coercion are also prohibited. Do not share real media depicting gore, excessive violence, or animal harm, especially with the intention to harass or shock others. Do not share content that violates anyone's intellectual property or other rights. This includes sharing or selling game cheats or hacks. For more information, please view Discord's copyright and intellectual property policy. Be honest. Do not share false or misleading information, otherwise known as misinformation. Content that is false, misleading, and can lead to significant risk of physical or societal harm may not be shared on Discord. We may remove content if we reasonably believe its spread could result in damage to physical infrastructure, injury of others, obstruction of participation in civic processes, or the endangerment of public health. Do not misrepresent your identity on Discord in a deceptive or harmful way. This includes creating fake profiles and attempts to impersonate an individual, group, or organization. Do not engage in activities that could damage or compromise the security of an account, network, or system. This includes using deceptive techniques to trick others into revealing sensitive information, phishing, using malicious software, malware, and flooding a target with traffic in order to make a resource unavailable, denial of service attacks. Do not use or attempt to use Discord to promote, coordinate, or execute financial scams. A financial scam is any intentionally deceptive act taken with the intent to receive an illegal, unethical, or otherwise dishonest gain. This includes, but is not limited to, Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, advance fee fraud, market manipulation, including pump and dump schemes, and romance and employment scams. Do not engage in activities that fraudulently generate a profit at the expense of others. This includes facilitating, providing instructions for, and participating in fraud. We do not allow coordinated efforts to defraud businesses, price gouging, forgery, money laundering, or tools that facilitate illegal behavior. Respect Discord. Do not send unsolicited bulk messages or spam to others. Also, do not facilitate this activity, such as by selling spambits, server raid tools, account creation tools, token generators, CAPTCHA solving services, or other spam tools. Do not sell or purchase methods for artificially increasing server membership, such as via advertisements or botting. Do not organize, promote, or engage in any illegal behavior, such as the buying, selling, or trading of dangerous and regulated goods. Dangerous goods have reasonable potential to cause real-world, physical harm to individuals. Regulated goods have laws in place that restrict the purchase, sale, trade, or ownership of the goods. Do not abuse Discord products in any way, such as selling or purchasing an account or server, participating in fraudulent Nitro incentives or boosting activities, or using monetization features to commit fraud. Do not evade permanent Discord-level enforcement actions. This includes creating new or using existing accounts or communities after being removed for violating our platform rules. Do not use self-bots or user bots. Each account must be associated with a human, not a bot. Self-bots put strain on Discord's infrastructure and our ability to run our services. Do not mislead Discord's support teams. Do not make false or malicious reports to our trust and safety or other customer support teams, send multiple reports about the same issue, or ask a group of users to report the same content or issue. Repeated violations of this guideline may result in loss of access to our reporting functions. If you see any activity that violates these guidelines, our terms of service, or our other policies, please report it to us in the Discord mobile app or by filling out this form. However, please note that we strongly discourage and may take action against vigilantism, as this behavior can put individuals in harm's way and can also interfere with our investigations and ability to report to law enforcement. These guidelines will continue to evolve over time. This means we may take action against a user, server, or content that violates the spirit of these guidelines when we encounter a new threat or harm that is not explicitly covered in the current version. We will always make our best effort to notify you when we update these guidelines, but it is up to you to follow the spirit of them, keep Discord safe and a place for everyone to belong. Thanks for doing your part.
So these guidelines are pretty straightforward. There's a few things that jump out for me, and we'll go through them kind of like line for line. The one that's going to matter the most for some of the Discords that you might find yourselves in is this whole blurb around hate speech. Their definition of hate speech, albeit like understandably why so much encapsulates this, could potentially lead to some problems for some of the more edgy Discord servers, even the ones that I know that like people participate in. So we'll just kind of like, again, like they consider hate speech any form of expression that either attacks other people, or promote hatred on violence against them based on their protected characteristics. And and again, their characteristics are explicitly clear. So there isn't any type of ambiguity about like trying to like, oh, I wasn't doing it for this, was actually that. Yeah, it seems like this is incredibly hardline. And again, like it's not even like immutables, it's protected characteristics. And while they didn't like explain what they mean by protected characteristics, they listed you what things they believe to be protected. These ones are also gonna be a big deal. So this is huge for a bunch of Discords that nobody should really care about, but like you can't organize, promote, or support violent extremism. This encapsulates, if you're looking to like really go lib centrist brain on it, it covers both sides of the aisle. So your Antifa Super Club and your Proud Boys Committee are both affected by this. This is actually like good, very, very good. This is also very, very good. And again, like this also, like I mentioned, with like, promote, organize, promote, or support violent extremism. This also includes glorifying violent events or perpetrators of violent acts, as well as conspiracy theories that could encourage or incite violence against others. This encapsulates a lot of different things that we've seen in over the past few the past few months, if not years. The self-harm, this I think was like a long time coming. There's people like I've seen this type of behavior in other servers, so I'm glad this finally exists. I don't know if it existed in the previous version, but based on the shit that people would say to other people in Discords, it appears like it was like it was something that was like indirectly allowed. Finally, this is kind of like vague, but I don't know how this is going to work. Do not engage in activities that fraudulently generate a profit at the expense of others. This is a little strange to me. I understand like what they did, like we're not allowed to coordinate effort to defraud businesses, price gouging, forgery, money laundering, or tools. This kind of nerfs some card games that I'm in. Card game communities that I'm in, because like unironically, it's not necessarily price gouging, but basically like what would happen is like if there's something within a certain metagame and we believe that a card is going to essentially like get bigger or be more expensive long term, like buyouts. I've seen language on Discord lead to buyouts on TCG Player. If you don't know what any of those two, you don't know anything I just said, that's okay. Don't worry about it. So this depending on how they apply is gonna just steamroll. This is gonna roll all over the town. Do not share false or misleading information, otherwise known as disinformation. Content that is false, misleading, and can lead to significant risk or physical or societal harm may not be shared on Discord. We may remove content that reasonably to believe could spread the result of damage in physical infrastructure, injury to others, obstruction of participation of civic processes, and endangerment of public health. This is kind of covering, if I'm going to be really like sort of clear, it just covers like the past 3 years of what we've seen in communities, whether it be for COVID or civil rights initiatives, trans initiatives. So that's a thing. I think that this was a good change. I think these changes are good and clear. I think if you are a Discord mod or find yourself in community in Discords, you need to pay attention to when these things update and how they adjust themselves. This video is kind of scuffed, but I hope this was kind of helpful. At the very least, I hope just like listening to it and just like listening through what the changes were helpful for some people who find themselves in communities in a bunch of different Discords. Otherwise, this is a drastic detour from like the content I usually have in this channel. But that's all I got. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon.